All right, so standard form is ax plus by equals c, where the x things that are important about that, x and y are both on the same line, or a side rather. The number a is a positive number, and there cannot be any fractions involved in it. There can be negatives in this problem in standard form, but a itself can't be negative. The other two, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so in terms of this, are they in standard form? Are they not in standard form? This one is in standard form. Yes, we're asked you to identify whether it's in standard form, and you could do that myriad of ways. Most of you said yes or no. Some of you circled an X. Doesn't matter. This one is no. Second one is no. Why is B no? Why is B not in standard form? That is a negative in particular. Yep. A is in standard form, even though that's a negative, even though it's a negative 10 back at A. It's still okay. C, standard form? Nope. Because of that thing, right? The point. This is a no. Why? Y is the only thing on the left. We're talking about D. Y is the only thing on the left. That's why. E, no. Fraction. F. This is the hardest one out of all of them to identify. It deals with this statement, a GCF of 1. You can divide all these things by 2. This is F in standard form. Right? Divide the whole thing by 2. All right, so to put things in standard form, there's no parentheses in standard form. Yep.
What's our next test, please?
On the sketch, I don't know. It's on the schedule. It's listed online. I'll look later. Distribute. And I would add 10. A lot of you guys are cranking this out. By the way, the original version of this equation, that's point slope form, isn't it? Did you guys see that? That should seem familiar, like A is in point slope form. Now, to put it in standard form, lots of times we go to slope intercept form first, right? We just put it in slope intercept form. After that, we're going to crank it into standard form. Now we're going to work to get the x's on the same side as the y's. Negative 2x plus y equals negative 6. But that's not done quite yet because we have a negative out in front. So we want to get rid of that negative out in front. And we do that by distributing a negative 1 to all the parts. And we get there. So we get 2x minus y equals positive 6. Questions? Y can be negative. Yeah. The number in front of the y can be negative. Okay. The constant term, the term on the right-hand side could also be negative. Sure. The x, the coefficient of the x cannot be negative. On B, we've got two issues. We've got a few issues. X and y aren't on the same side. We have a fraction, okay, which intimidates us. But we're tough folks. I'm going to move that over to the left to get rid of it on the right and bring it to the left, which is where it needs to be. Oops. And we're going to drop the rest of this stuff down like it's hot. Then we have two problems at the same time. We have a fraction and we have a negative in front of x. And get rid of both. By negative 3. Did anybody remember? We can multiply by the denominator, or the least common denominator, to get rid of the fractions. And that puppy will give us x minus 3y, because we're distributing, equals 6. Boom. Barbecue pork. On this next question, we need to get x and y on the same side, so I'm going to subtract I'm going to subtract 3/4 to get it to the left. Plus y equals 1/2. And then we're going to continue. We're going to solve it. We're going to put it in a standard form. We got to get rid of the fractions. Okay? What are we going to multiply by to get rid of both the denominator of 4 and the denominator of 2? we multiply by 4, we get rid of the 4 and the 2 at the same time because it's the least common multiple. We want to do negative, again, to get rid of the negative in front of the 3/4. Okay? So we do that and we distribute it. We get 3x minus 4y. And then we have to think of negative 4 times 1/2, which would be negative 2. And there's your answer. Now for D, we're going to distribute 1/3 x minus 2/3. Right? X and y on the same side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to move the numbers to the right. I'm going to minus 3. And we have fractions here. Don't get intimidated by those fractions, folks. We want negative 2/3 minus 3 over 1. That's negative 2/3 minus 9 over 3. We need a common denominator. Just pointed out that I made a little mistake here, that I forgot that this is a negative. I didn't see that. So I'm going to make this a negative, which makes this a positive. Thank you very much. So it's positive 2/3 minus 3. That becomes negative 7/3. 2 minus 9, negative 7/3. And then we're going to get the x's on the same side, plus 1/3 x. I'm going to zoom in. Extreme zoom. And now we need to get rid of the fractions. Multiply by 3. That's a 7, yes, sir. So that gives us x plus 2y equals negative 7. There's our final answer. Okay?